Halloween Horror Nights 26 is starting this week, and it's the happiest time of the year, and we at Orlando United consider ourselves experts of Horror Nights. We also know this is the time of year where you start researching the event, and with everything that Horror Nights now has to offer, it can leave you with more questions and answers, and it can be a bit overwhelming. So grab that checklist, because we're here to guide you to hopefully be an expert, and you'll be the belle of the ball and championed by your friends by the end of your vacation. Now, before we really start getting into Halloween Horror Nights, we need to stop right now to let you know that we have another video out that deals with all the houses, scare zones, and shows that you'll be seeing this year. Just click the link right now. So back to Horror Nights. The general overview this year is Chances Are Icon, and they're going with the theater of the mind type gimmick, where she sees things one way but we're seeing it another. This year also happens to have some of the most popular IPs that Horror Nights has ever brought to their lineup, with houses based on The Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and American Horror Story. Now that the basics are out of the way, let's go to the most important thing you need to do before going to Horror Nights.
Tickets, please.
Everybody has different budgets, so we're not trying to tell you to spend an arm and a leg, but just our best recommendations on what's best for you and your party. Also keep in mind that event nights can sell out before the night itself, so always buy your tickets early. So let's look at individual night tickets. For just one night, a ticket for one person is $104.99, and that's good for any day of the event. Problem is, that's a lot of money when there's a lot of other options for you to save. So if you happen to be attending Universal during the day, you can have an add-on ticket, which brings the cost down quite a bit. There is a new option called the add-on flex ticket, which costs $72.99. And that's good if you don't know which day you're going, but it is a little bit more if you know if you're either going on Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, or Friday. So we'd recommend not getting this flex on unless you know you're probably going to go on a Saturday. So let's move on to the add-on ticket. That's when you know which night of the event you'll be attending. As you can see, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Sundays are the cheapest out of the options, and that's because those days are usually the slowest. Doesn't necessarily mean there won't be crowds, but it's going to be slower than Fridays and Saturdays. So to go Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, it's going to cost you $55.99. If you go Friday, $66.99, and Saturday, $82.99. For Florida residents, there's some better news for you. The cost of a one-night event ticket and an add-on to your regular day park ticket are the same. So it's $55.99 if you want to go Wednesday either just to the event or to the park and the event. We'd recommend that if you've never been to Universal or seldomly go, to get the add-on ticket if you can. But we understand budgets are tight, so if you're just there for Horror Nights, do the Horror Nights. Which now brings us to annual pass holders. Annual pass holders will get the biggest discounts out of everyone because they're showing their appreciation. The good news is, if you're a Premier Pass holder, you get a free Halloween Horror Nights ticket. Those dates on the side of that little text shows you which days they're valid for. As far as the price for a one-night ticket, it's $55.99 for Wednesday, $51.99 if you're going Thursday or Sunday, $55.99 if you're going Friday, and $62.99 for Saturday. So as you can see, there's a lot of savings to be had if you're an annual pass holder. So there are some savings to be had with annual pass holders and Florida residents. And of course, this is what you would want if you're only going one night. But there is better value if you plan on going multiple nights, and that's when we get into our frequent fear passes. So here's a look at general Florida residents frequent fear passes and annual pass holder frequent fear passes. We also included express, but we'll get into that much later. Each pass fits a different need depending on how long and when you plan on attending the event. So let's start with the Rush of Fear Pass. The Rush of Fear Pass is good for the first 3 weekends of the event. In the event you see yourself going any of the first 3 weekends, it's the best pass to get. It's better to go this route than purchasing a one-night ticket, which can cost up to $105 depending on which discount you have. It also gives you that option if you want to just do another night. The Frequent Fear Pass is good for the first weekend, and then every Thursday and Sunday of the event, as well as the last 3 Wednesdays of October and Halloween night. Frequent Fear Plus is the same as Frequent Fear Pass, it just now adds every Friday to the event. The creme de la creme of the Frequent Fear Pass is the Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass. This new pass was introduced this year and costs $200. We only recommend this for the hardcore Halloween Horror Night fans who plan to go a lot. Which pass you go with is obviously up to you. If you're going to go any of the first 3 weekends of the event, then Rush of Fear is the best bet. but if you see yourself going more Fridays than not, then you're probably going to want to settle for the Frequent Fear Plus. Now let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights Express. Universal increased the prices for many of the passes, most notably to the Frequent Fear Pass Express options, so it can incur a huge cost. For just one night of Express, you can go anywhere between $79.99 all the way to $139.99, depending on the night you choose. Obviously, the more expensive the price, the more of a luxury the pass is, because the event might be a little bit more busier than usual that night. The big increase, though, was seen on the Frequent Fear passes. As you can see, a Russia Fear Pass plus Halloween Horror Nights Express is $299.99. And if you're really into horror, the Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass plus Express is $600. Since a lot of us are balling on a budget, Express may not be the best option for you. The good news is that you don't necessarily need Express to get through everything in the night. That means if you're going without Express, you're probably going to have to pay attention to the weekend you go so you can dictate how the crowds are going to be for that time. Let's take a look at the calendar for Horror Nights now. The event features 2 closing times, but always opens at 6:30 p.m. So you're either going to go to an event that closes at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. 2 a.m. closures occur usually during the busiest times and weekends. Just take a glance to the left to see which closing times will be on whichever date you want to go. Just keep in mind, if you do a Halloween Horror Nights add-on, which was formerly known as Stay and Scream, you can get into the event as early as 5:30, but not every house will be open and all the scare zones may still kind of be doing their thing to set up. Now what we're going to do is give our estimation for what we expect crowds to be, using either light, moderate, busy, or really, really busy. Keep in mind that even though a day might be light, you still will deal with some crowds, just not as heavy as other ones, especially later in the month. So opening weekend will be moderately busy, except for Sunday, which we expect to be light. Reason being is many of Horror Nights fans come out that weekend in flocks to see what the event has to offer this year. For the following few weeks, it'll be somewhat moderate to light, because it's still September and not everybody is in the Halloween Horror Night or Halloween spirit. As we start getting into October, crowds are expected to pick up, especially during Columbus Day weekend, which takes place on October 10th. That's why we expect Saturday, October 8th to be busy, and October 9th to be relatively light. Continuing on, it still should be moderate, but once we start getting later in October, that's a time known as Hell Week within the community, and that's because a lot of local area schools and colleges are out for breaks. So if you plan on going any of those times between the 20th through the 30th, Express might be an option that you need to look into. Halloween night falls on a Monday, and more often than not, it's kind of moderately busy, but because it's on a Monday, we're expecting light crowds this time. If you do choose to forego the Express Pass, our best recommendation is to get there on time and early. That way you can hit as many houses as you want with minimal waits. As the night progresses, you'll be expecting to wait in a little bit more longer times. What route you take while you're at the event is really up to you. I know there's a lot of other blogs and websites that say go here or go there, but it really comes down to what works best for you. If you start to the left and go with the sound stages, you'll knock out the popular IPs, but you might have to wait a little longer at the 10 houses of the parade building and anything else located in the right side of the park. Or if you start on the right side, you'll have the minimal waits there, but expect to wait longer for the IP houses and the sound stages. The Repository is a new addition to this year's Halloween Horror Nights. For years, Extreme House has been rumored, so this is sort of a take on it. The house offers a VR experience which mixes virtual reality with live actors. The Repository is only available on select nights from September 29th through October 31st, with reservation times between 5 p.m. and 1 a.m. If you're interested in doing this, I suggest stop watching this video and go book now because these are filling up quickly. The Repository only allows 4 guests per group, and guests are asked to dedicate at least 90 minutes to doing this experience, with 30 minutes dedicated to the experience itself. The cost is $49.99 per person, and if you want to book, call the phone number that you see right there. Another option to look into are tours. You can do a behind-the-scenes tour, which offers a glimpse at the making of the houses, or you can do a guided tour, with even going as far as getting a private guided tour. The Unmasking the Horror Tours allows guests a walkthrough of 3 or 6 houses, depending if you get a combo tour. It is a great experience to do, so if you're really into Horror Nights, we suggest looking into it. At the time of this recording, many of the tours offered during the first couple of weeks are already sold out, so we suggest getting on that right now. RIP tours are basically red carpet treatment while you're at Halloween Horror Nights. If you choose to do the general RIP tour, it costs $179.99, and for 4.5 hours you will be joined with others on a guided tour. If you don't like people, a private tour is available, which costs $1,799. This gives you and 9 other guests your own personal VIP tour to all the houses throughout the park, as well as some other perks. That little phone number at the corner at the bottom right hand side, call that if you're really interested in doing something like that. In case you were wondering, yes, food and drink are available throughout the event. Pop-up tents and pop-up bars are located throughout the park, which gives you basic corn dog, hot dogs, pizza, or even some weird things like pizza dogs. Beer as well as general mixed drinks are also available, but we gotta say, make sure you're of age, and please drink responsibly. If you want to eat at the event while still partaking in the Horror Nights experience, Horror Nights does offer a scare actor dining experience. Located at Universal Studios Classic Monster Cafe, you'll enjoy a dinner-style buffet while also encountering some of the scare actors featured at this year's event. The cost is $49.99 and takes place every night of the event. There's a good chance we didn't answer everything in this video that you were wondering about, and that's okay. If you have a question, make sure to leave one below and we'll respond as quick as we can. Also, make sure to follow us on any of these social media channels and we'll try to answer it there as well. Hopefully we've helped you enough though in this video. Horror Nights is a great event and should be experienced by everyone, and hopefully we took away some of the stress you may have had. If you liked the video, leave a like. Again, comment if you have any questions, and if you really dig what we're doing, make sure to subscribe to our channel because we got more coming. This has been Brian from Orlando United. We'll see you at Halloween Horror Nights 26.